Okay, this one is really personal. Pains me to say, MAGA's anti-trans onslaught has been inescapable. And sadly, our children are often the target of this policy violence and social bullying. Many people, perhaps even you, have been raised to believe that from birth we are either male or female, and that this never changes for the rest of our lives. You may even question whether being transgender is a real thing at all. But I can tell you, being trans is very much real. My name is John Stout, Impact Partnership Lead and co-founder of Free Speech TV, and my child is trans. My child's teen years were filled with debilitating anxiety and dysfunction. Being a father, I desperately wanted to help. So as a family, we tried therapy, we tried medication, we offered unconditional love, but nothing we did could ease the pain tearing up this young life. I'll never forget the early morning hours that my wife and I spent on a suicide crisis line, wondering if our child would see the sunrise. No parent should ever experience that. Our child made it through that night, and weeks later, sobbing, opened up to us about the cause of such heart-wrenching despair. It was gender dysphoria, the distress experienced when one's gender identity differs from the sex assigned at birth. A light flipped on for us, and the person we loved as a son became to us the child we will forever love as our daughter. Soon she began the gender-affirming care that I think saved her life, and after a difficult year of social transition, she began to live at greater peace with her true self. But life as a trans person in the US, while never easy, was about to get worse. Remember how Trump and his allies spent over $200 million on campaign ads to scapegoat transgender identities? Not surprisingly, the day after the election, crisis calls from queer and trans youth spiked 700%. Since then, Trump has rescinded federal recognition of trans identities and opened the hateful floodgates. Attacks on gender-affirming health care, bans on trans people serving in the military, states trying to criminalize drag shows and appropriate pronouns and haircuts, even defunding crisis lines. So far in 2025, over 850 anti-trans bills have been introduced across the country. Some would criminalize as child abuse the love and support I've shown my daughter. Now, imagine the toll such relentless attacks have on the well-being and self-esteem of trans kids. Imagine the permission such political rhetoric gives to those who live to hate and harm. It doesn't matter whether or not you are trans or even know or love someone who is. As actor Pedro Pascal posted recently, I can't think of anything more vile and small and pathetic than terrorizing the smallest, most vulnerable community of people who want nothing from you except the right to exist. So how do we protect our trans children so they can live openly, safely, and with dignity? We can be kind, not stare, speak up when we see someone bullying, and we can be allies, supporting the advocacy campaigns, legal work, and resources of the Trans Youth Emergency Project, Advocates for Trans Equality, the Transgender Law Center, the ACLU, and Gender Liberation Movement. Together, we have the power to build a world where oppression withers in the sunshine of our kids' joy. Please join me in making it so. Thank you.